Good evening, everyone who needs a drink. Gee, surgeon, guys, I'm in some serious watch group therapy. I'm in some need of watch group therapy, I should say. Yeah, man, I think we all need a little bit of that. Tonight I'm just doing watch chat. I'll do my best to stay on it, at least. Gee, surgeon, super sticker. 99 cents, and also a member. Thank you, sir. David Simmons. It's Simons. Wasn't expecting who needs a drink. That's a lovely surprise evening, lads. Great live stream from Lido, says DG. It was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Kind of a nice evening. There's Philip Manning in, a clockwork with a PayPal. Thank you, sir. Much appreciate the PayPals. It was nice yesterday as well. Some lovely super chats and PayPals rolling in. Helps pay for the evening's libations. Who else is in the room? Andy K, who needs a drink, never went away. No, I never did. I never said it was going to go away. I said I was going to do some fewer ones, fewer amount, which has been the case. There won't be one next week. Probably not the week after that. I did one last week, and it got a little heavy, I think. So I thought, let's do one. Let's talk watches. The Emeritus is in the room. Look at that guy. Look how cool he looks these days. Man, he's in shape. And he also got himself a new Panerai today. Congrats on that. What was the model again? Let me check. And thank you for the super chat. Big super chat. Thank you, sir. Which model was it? The PAM 01642. Sexy stuff. Panerai. 01642. I think he got it with the... Which one did he get? Let me just check. Oh, the green dial. Is it green? So it's that one. It's funny because I ran into out on the beach. I ran into Cristiano from Panerai here with his shirt off on the beach. He's like, when are you going to come see me? I'm like, next week. He's like, well, I'm on holiday. I said, well, then you tell me when am I going to come see you? He's like, the week after. I'm like, fine. He wants to show me the new Panerai models, which sounds very unhealthy for me, very dangerous. I should probably forget my credit card if I go, just in case he talks me into something. This is a beautiful PAM. Meredith. That's a beauty. Wow. I'm looking forward to a lot of great Instagram photos from the Meredith. On Instagram, I think his photos of Panerai are some of the best out there. Truly. I'm wearing a PAM 514. You want to see it up close? Boom. And my new strap I got in Florence with the boys. Big sexy Panerai. You want to see with the loom? Where's my loom? There it is. Takes ages to loom these because they're so massive. You have to kind of draw the loom into action with your little torch. You can't really see it anyway, but yeah, it's a good one. I am going to switch around and do a lot of switcheroos. I decided not to wear any watch worth more than 10,000 tonight. We keep it all well under that, if that's okay with you. I have to drop the others off at the bank. Far too much money in the house, watch-wise. Can't keep them here all the time. Bambo, hey folks from St. Andrews. Chad, good morning from Sydney. Sydney. How early is it there? You were an early bird? Must be real early. Welcome. Bought a brand new watch, says Jason46. Rolex 17013 with a Buckley dial. I love that watch. Is that the Harrison Ford? Kevin Landon. Have you ever heard of anyone who can play guitar with either hand and do it well? Feels he can and has a voice of an angel too. Also plays the harp for an added talent. Interesting. I ask Etty, what cigars and cigarillos do you smoke? Which ones are your favorite? I smoke a lot of cigars. The Oi de Monterey, the Romeo and Julieta, the Montes, whatever I can get my hands on. I'm lucky enough to have a Trinidad or a Partagas or whatever. I will take it, or an Opus X. But the only Davidoff I like is the late hour. But I do smoke these every day. These are kind of like cigarillos. Toscano. And I get the Antico one. There's three. There's the classic, the Extra Vecchio, and the Antico. It's my favorite one. I'm going to have one right now, God damn it. C6, best watch channel going. Thanks. That's a nice thing to say. Starting off on a positive note this evening. I like that. ED, Brenny is ripping you a new one on this channel over Nomadic. Nah, he's not. He's just Brenny, you know how Brenny works. He's a straight shooter. He takes no prisoners. It's all right. Charles Thompson. Hey, Yoshina, the gang. Benny Hill would like to see me do a trip to Lugano. I have an open invite to Lugano from the woman who lived in this apartment before me. She lives in Lugano. Just haven't had a chance to get there. See, she's a signora. She's in her early 80s, I think. She's very nice, and I got along well with her when I was taking over the place. She was delighted I was going to someone nice. Grand Psycho, those are 36 for a 5-pack in Canada. They are $9.80 here. $9.80 in euros, which is about 15 Canadian dollars. Yeah. Love the shirt, Andrew. Thank you. Or summary, huh? Not bad. What watch am I wearing, CC? I'm wearing the PAM 514. I'm going to switch out, though. Can we move on to something else? I have a lot to get through. I want to switch out watches. But I love this big beast. And I love my new strap, actually. It's with these sweaty days, it's definitely the right decision to switch out because I have the lovely burgundy leather with Would have destroyed it by now. There's the big, beautiful Pam. Open case back. Big, beautiful strap. Nice, yeah? We love that. Shall I put on? Hey, I'll put on a nomadic. Seeing as you mention it, I'll put on the one I've been wearing the past week. The Blue 750 Diver. I've been filming this out underwater over the past few days, getting out on the beach and getting into the water with it and getting above water and underwater shots. And I've been totally loving it. There's another watch with great loom. Nomadic really know how to do good loom. A little bit of tequila with watermelon and melting ice because it's hot to trot again. We had a storm this morning. I was thinking great. But no, it turned around. It got hot again. But it's not too bad. It's not like some parts of the world right now. Yeah, what do you guys think of the nomadic brew? I have another nomadic here as well. I haven't worn this one in ages. I'm going to put that on next. After I wind it up and set it. John asks, Nico thinks Panerai movements are junk. What do you think? Who cares what Nico thinks? No, I mean, I know that they have had issues in historically with certain models. And it's important to treat them nicely, like give them a full wind, because that Palm of mine there has the P3000 and it's manual wind 3 days. It's important to give it a full wind and so on. I mean, saying they're junk is that's sensationalist. That's rage bait. But they, some of the Panerai movements can be problematic, and you got to send it in for adjustment or repair. They're not hard to repair. It doesn't have to go to Panerai. The Punch Drunk Turd. You getting into the Boswell debacle? Oh, myself and Brenny are fine. He had a little, just a complication really with the nomadic. He was trying to make a custom watch, because they offer a service. If you want one of their watches, but you want it customized, like you want to change something, the color or something, make it individual to you. And it hasn't been a great experience for him. Let's put it that way. So he's a little mad at them. But they're aware, and Peter called him to apologize and everything. Let's see if they can all get it sorted. Sure they will. As long as they're all gentlemen. Mercedes Ken's seeing the Odyssey anytime soon, getting incredible reviews. I've seen one bad review, really bad one. I'd like to go see it. I'd like to see it in the cinema. I didn't like Oppenheimer very much. But I loved Interstellar, and I loved Memento and Inception, and I liked his Batman movies. The Archer baptized his sub date in the Caribbean Sea over Christmas. Wow, that's nice. Punch Drunkard. So you've not seen his latest videos. You're talking about Brenny again? I have. Yes. I spoke to Brenny today. It's just he's just Brenny doesn't take any prisoners. Doesn't pull any punches. It's a shame actually that it went that way with Dematic are lovely, lovely guys, and I work with them all the time. And they've never done me a bad turn. But maybe they need to take another look at that department and revise how it all works and their approach. I don't know how many people are looking for 50 watches, customized watches, or 100. First of all, it's a shit ton of money. And unless you're some kind of crazy store or some event like F1 event and you want to give away, customized F1 pneumatics or something, if that were a thing, to all the drivers or something like, when would you have anyone asking for anything more than one watch, one or two? I don't really understand it. I know that Brenny has been a little frustrated, let's say. And I can understand his frustration, but I don't think there's any malice behind it. That's the difference between myself and Brenny's attitude. He thinks there's malice. I don't. Joe LaFaro, buonasera a tutti. Hey, Joe. Time Flies went into the Atlantic Ocean yesterday with his no-date sub. Nice. Hey, that's what it's for. That's what the watch is for. I've loved going into it's not the ocean, it's the sea, the Adriatic Sea, with this thing. Loved it. Where's my cigar? There it is. Steer Pike, I'm getting a bad feeling about Heat 2. Hope I'm wrong. Yeah. Everyone's nervous about that. I mean, I don't think Michael Mann has lost his chops, has he? I don't think so. Magic Nolan is rarely disappointing. It's true. I couldn't get through Tenet, but it wasn't interesting. What I saw of it was interesting. And I saw Oppenheimer, I believe, in the theater, was it? And meh. I still don't know why he didn't just use real footage of the real explosion, It's like in Deer Hunter, when they finally get past the big long wedding scene and all that. It takes like an hour. What an intro. You forget that it's a war movie. I think that was the point. They're just sitting around the piano all drunk in the middle of the night, the day before they deploy. And then you hear and then just explosions. It's an amazing film. But when they're showing that, they keep cutting to actual footage, real vintage footage of men jumping out of helicopters into the long grass of Vietnam. I think we would have excused Chris Nolan had he just used the real footage. He could have doctored it up or, upscaled it to 4K or whatever. That's easy for a guy like that. I also don't think he really covered the Hiroshima and Nagasaki properly either. Probably afraid the film would be banned or something. Don't make us feel bad about what we did. Paul FC, the epic music in Interstellar, yeah, absolutely incredible soundtrack. Hans Zimmer. He can do so much with so little, that guy. I mean, notes wise, he's a minimalist, but then he'll get like 30 French horns to play as loud as they can. It's like, whoa. Inception was also a great soundtrack. Please upvote, says Franco Fiora. Yeah, there's only 65 upvotes. What the hell? Get on it. Punch Drunkard, he requested permission to set off an actual nuke. Did he? That's so him. Why would you do that and add to the radiation signature in our oxygen? That would be. I'm glad they said no chance. I'm fucking glad. That's irresponsible. The world has never been the same since the first bomb. The Manhattan Project. It has never, no, literally, I don't mean like, oh, the chilling reality of nuclear war. Yes, that's there too. But literally, the world, like organically, the world hasn't been the same. Once all those particles, radioactive particles, went into the air, they're still there in the air. And that's not to mention the 525 other bombs they set off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and so on, both USA and Russia, over the years. Each time they do that, it just spreads the whole planet full of radioactive particles, iodine and cesium, and I mean, it's trace amounts, but it's there. The atmosphere will never ever fully be the same. Don't believe me? Here's the proof. When they want very pure steel, it's called low background steel, to make items in medicine, surgery, like highly precise, super clean instruments and tools for surgeons and other things as well. They go to the bottom of the ocean to shipwrecks and U-boats and whatever they can find made of steel pre-1945. And they send down divers with welders and they cut pieces of the steel off those ships, because in order to make steel, of course, you need tons of water, tons of electricity, and you blow excessive amounts of oxygen into pig iron, very raw iron, which eventually purifies the iron and it starts turning to steel. Now, if you push oxygen into it, the particles from the oxygen around us goes into the steel. So the steel will never, all the steel made after 1945 above ground, above sea level, is slightly radioactive. So when they want pure steel, low background steel, they have to go and find shipwrecks and so on that have been under the water and not exposed to the atmosphere above this whole time. And that's the only pure steel. We'll never make pure steel again. Once they run out of that, we'll never make it again. It's incredibly irresponsible of us. But it wouldn't be the first time. We could also colonize a different planet. I think it's ridiculous, the idea of colonizing Mars, trying to put an atmosphere on Mars. But if it were to ever happen, I hope this time around they appreciate the pure atmosphere. They don't start setting off nukes, contaminating the air. Ray Ray is wearing his Seagull 1963. I have a few of those. Should have worn one. 12 marathons, 12 months. Really? Do you run a marathon every month? Wow. I'll take my Steel 904L from Rolex. Well, that refers to the chrome and nickel balance. But it's still contaminated. It would be cool to make a watch with low background steel, wouldn't it? But it would be so insanely expensive because low background steel is really costly and very difficult to find and harvest for obvious reason. Matt Oz, 1973. Same age as me, man. £10, no question, Matt. Thank you, sir. Crypto 7, is it true you don't get a hangover with tequila? If you drink enough of it, you will. But if you don't mix it with anything and all you drink all evening is tequila, then you'll get much less of a hangover and you won't have the sadness, or the fear, as they say in Ireland. You drink too much and you have a hangover the next day and you have what they call the fear, which is like this slight feeling of uneasy, edgy paranoia and brittleness. You won't get that from tequila. You'll probably wake up in a very good mood, actually. It's the superior spirit. I'll put on another nomadic, seeing as they're in the zeitgeist right now. This is their chronograph. It was a big hit. And every year they do a Black Shamrock version. It's like a limited edition. Actually, I believe it was kind of based on that one that Brenny wanted to make his own, kind of a variation on that one. Variation on a theme, if you will. And that is the only watch in the world where the date, because this is a day-date watch, it's got the day-date, where the day of the week is written in Irish. Oskelga, because of course they're an Irish brand and very connected to Irish identity and the Irish language. All their watches have Irish names. Rue and Marie, Kior. Lovely. One of the reasons I promote them. Solidarity with my brethren. Didn't say that word right. Brethren. This is the what is this called again? Oh yeah, the Cade. The Cade 126. Lovely. Let me fire up the chrono. Get that little yellow hand going there. This is gorgeous. Lovely vintage looking strap. And lovely emerald green. Just like the Emerald Isle. Simon Bailey. I just came out of Odyssey. It is immense. That's great. Yet another good review. So I only ever saw one bad review. So everyone else is saying it's great. Q change. Inception is one of my favorites of Nolan movies, as is 1917. No, that's 1917 is Sam Mendes. Different director. Also a very talented director. He made American Beauty. Remember that film? Kevin Spacey falls in love with his daughter's schoolmate. Annette Bening, probably at her prime. One of the great American actors, female actors. Microbiologist. The steel we produce nowadays is of superior quality. Well, when they do find shipwreck steel, non-contaminant, low background steel, they do melt it down and do stuff to it, but they don't pump oxygen from our atmosphere in it because that would defeat the purpose. Dunkirk, yes. Maybe our friend is thinking Dunkirk because that is Chris Nolan. Interesting war film because it's telling a sad story of failure. You know, we usually, like, when we see our war films, we like to see victory over the baddies, right? But Dunkirk was a story of a retreat, a failure and a retreat. I mean, there was heroism, of course, and they did manage to get over 300,000 men back, which was astonishing, considering there were sitting ducks on that beach that time, and the Luftwaffe were just doing target practice on them. God help them. But it is an interesting choice of story to tell for Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't usually like to tell stories of failure. Apollo 13 was a story of failure. I mean, there was a malfunction, but then you find the heroism in it. Also, Crypto 7, you seen your daughter? Yes, she's coming into town tomorrow, just for one night. It's Redentore here, guys, tomorrow. Remember that? Redentore is here again. God. I saw Mary at the woman over at the cafe I sit on the water. The cafe where I sit on the water most days. And she's like, I was like, are you ready for it? And she's like, I wish I could be made unconscious for the next 3 days. It'd be a super nightmare. It'd be about 150,000 people, 200,000 people coming through. And that's on land. Then you have all the people who arrive on their boats. Mother of God. And the fireworks take forever to start. They start after 11. I don't know whose idea that was. There's people falling to sleep down on the water, sitting there all day in the hot sun. They're passed out by the time the fireworks start. And then the fireworks go on for fucking 45 minutes and it gets really boring on them. After the first few minutes of fireworks, I'm bored. I think less is more when it comes to fireworks. Choose them wisely, make it artistic, leave people wanting more. Every year without fail, people start leaving halfway through because they have to make their way back to the big car parks and drive home.
So they want to get ahead of the crowd, and they get fucking bored of the fireworks. Ed, I just drank 2 jugs of margaritas in the Irish sun, and I can still stand up straight. Tequila is the best. Listen, I never said it doesn't get you drunk. It certainly does. I'm just saying, don't put red wine or anything like that in the stomach. You'll throw it all back up. You can't mix. And if you have one beer now, after all that tequila, one beer, and you'll get completely stocious. Even though the beer is not a strong drink, it will totally hit you. Crypto 7. The dogs and cats agree on the fire. Yeah, it's terrifying for them. Caustic, do you like Glenmorangie? Sure. I'll, to quote Christopher Hitchens, I'll accept a Glenmorangie if offered. I consider it rude not to do so. Love a Scotch for fair price, or you only like Islays or Irish. I don't only like Islays. My favorites are Islays. There's a nice difference between the Islays, the peatiness, the aggressive peatiness of some Scotch single malts versus the sweet honey tones, toffee tones of Irish. A lot of the Highland whiskies are kind of blendy, and they're not that different. See, I mean, they are, but it's not different enough for me to wander over there. Mercedes, we watched Manhunter the other night. That's a great film. Dream much, Will? You're very tan. Hannibal Lecter. Brian Cox, speaking of Scotch whiskey, is an expert. Ray, what time is iBasher starting? I believe it's starting at the normal time of midnight here, which is 11 for you, Ray. Out on the rock. Galaxian 754, who's also a member of Lagavulin, 16 is the cornerstone of the Scottish whiskey industry. I'm not going to argue with that. I think that's fair. Or Lafroig, no? Lafroig 10. Would you agree? Master it. It's your one and done. I'd say you're right on the money, actually. I don't think I can disagree with that. Talisker is great. Caustic. Here's the thing about Talisker, the 10. Sure, Talisker's Guide and Talisker's Storm, they're just cheap versions because the 10 would always sell out. If you can find the 10, Talisker 10-year-old, great sipper. Because when whiskeys start getting very old, they start getting really overbearing. And if it's Christmas night or something like that, and you want to sit down with a bottle next to you and a couple of smokes and sip away and get your way like halfway through a bottle, if you're like me, you can't do it with a 25-year-old Macallan or whatever. It's impossible. You'll drop dead. It's all fucking ethanol at that point. So some of them have a sweet spot, and I think the Jameson 10-year-old is called Crested 10. That's a beautiful whiskey. And I would say its Scottish equivalent is Talisker 10. If you want a 25-year-old Scotch that doesn't cost $3,000, you can get a Talisker 25 for about $600, but it's a complete waste of money because it's treacle at that point. It's way too plummy and sweet. It's gone over the edge. It's not a fine whiskey at that point. You just have to know your brand. Any Port Ellen guys in the room? I want to be your friend. Look it up and you'll understand why. It's supposed to be all watches tonight, but we're talking whiskey. Hey, listen, we're talking fun stuff. I'm not going to get heavy. Talking fun stuff. What do you think of this Nomadic, this green? Isn't it beautiful? It's got a classic vintage vibe. I also have some of their ladies' watches, which I'll be filming as well. And my daughter's going to film them. I better film these over the weekend before she leaves, because I think she's taking them away with her. These are the ladies' watches. I like this one a lot. Mother of pearl with diamonds. Look at that thing. Not pretty? Lovely. But she's going to do it. I think with all her fucking expensive gear and all her crew and her models and everything. She's going to put me to shame now. Watch. Milano is in the room now. Whoosh. You're being outshined. Milano is the fashion capital, many say, is the fashion capital of Europe, not just of Italy. It's either that or Paris or London. Right? Cristiano Elisari. Da dove sei, Cristiano? Sei italiano? I subscribed to your channel time ago, so he's definitely Italian. Okay. Some time ago would be the correct way of saying it. Tempo fa is what you wrote. But I do not know about your business. O'Malley. That sounds very aggressive. Tradizione non è esattamente quello che pensi. Va bene. Could you tell me, please? My business is a lot of things. Currently, I'm a YouTuber, and I do sell wallets and watches and merchandise. If you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see all my merchandise that's available. Hats, scarves, cups, t-shirts, etc., etc. Or if you want the finer things, you can go to oshinamarichannel.com, where I have ashtrays. I'm currently waiting for a new batch of these. Out of stock with those. I should really mark those as out of stock. I'll do that later. Then I have the Frollo Terra di Prua watch, which is a collaboration between myself and my good friend Simone Frollo family. 4 generations of gioielli jewelry in Venice. Then I have my wallets, handmade in Germany. Each one takes a day to make. I have those in Barolo and whiskey color. And then I have these watches. Hey, I'll put one of these on next. These are the Cadoro, the famous Cadoro on the Canal Grande. I'll put on that blue one. These are stone dials. That's malachite. That's turquoise, real stone. That is glass. That's Murano glass, aventurine. Murano glass style. Catches the light and glimmers like stars. That's tiger eye. And this is the Marmo. Everyone was asking about this one because it was the hardest one to get. I believe we have more now. The Marmo, the marble. Just like the front of the Cadoro, as you can see right there. Beautiful palazzo. That's what I'm doing right now, Cristiano, but I was a musician for years. I was in a rock band in the United States, and then I became a music producer. It's a long story. Let me find that watch. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Cristiano, if you look up the band, se cerchi il gruppo Mr. North, MR North, sarebbe Signor North, Nord. Mr. North, MR North, on YouTube. Vedrai un Oshin più magro, più bello, più giovane, che suona vari concerti grossi. Okay? I just told him about the band. I'm not speaking in code. Don't get paranoid, guys. I've had enough of that shit for one day, I can tell you. I won't elaborate. Yeah, let's put the look. It's so pretty. Looks like a Datejust, but doesn't cost $12,000. And frankly, nicer dials. The Tiger Eye is like insane. Here's the Tiger Eye. When you see this thing in the sunlight, it dances. The sunlight dances off the dial like you wouldn't believe. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships off the shoulder of Orion. Summer Watch. The Summer Watch. I'm going to start singing Sinatra now. Yeah, so you can get them right there. There they are there. Choose your color. No problem. And I'll handwrite a lovely Venice postcard and do some doodling. I like to doodle. Caustic, I'm back in full swing with the live streams just this week. Don't get excited. You guys are very black and white. Never said I was never doing a live stream again. I just said I was going to cut it down a little, which I did. And it gave me a little breathing space to get some other work done. Thank God. Speaking of work done, my kitchen arrived today. Jesus. 900 pounds in weight of stuff. 2 of the countertops are too long to get up the stairwell. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm either going to have to organize some sort of forklift or crane to bring it in the window of the building, or cut them in half and just slide them together and put some sort of seal between them or something depressing. But the team that are doing the montaggio, as they say, the building of it, putting it all together, are arriving in the morning. On the day of Redentore, it couldn't be a worse day. Jesus. So I have my daughter coming into town, and clean the place up a little. And the biggest festival in Venice, bigger than New Year's Eve, much bigger. And a fucking enormous kitchen is being installed. This is like, ugh. I might need a drink at some point. Those summer wind songs in my head now. I have seeds, watermelon seeds in my mouth. Care technique. You can't compare it to a Rolex. Well, no. It's a fraction of the price. It's also 39 mils. This the Rolex I would wear, Datejust would be 41. AZ, do you sell your CDs in your shop? Like the music from a band? No, you can get all that on Spotify and Apple Music and everything. Well, it's all there. There's a fucking ton of songs. You can download it. Haven't sold an actual physical CD in a long time. I think they're on eBay. I think you can get them on eBay. People are putting them on eBay now going, the guy from the Watch Channel's band. Like they're not even saying that. Oh, God. That's kind of depressing. Somehow. All the work we put in. Now we're known as the band with the guy from the Watch Channel. Oh, God. Gigi, where's James? I don't know. I think Matilda's gone back to France or wherever she is. Tomorrow. I think this is his last night with her, so he doesn't want the prezzemolo in the middle, as the Italians would say, the piece of parsley in the middle, like me. Amsterdam, how's your dating life? It's actually all right now, actually, I have to say. I'm not going to elaborate on that because that's private, but it's actually not fucking bad. Some good women out there, I'll tell you. It's restored my hope. It's actually not bad. Crypto 7 Blade Runner. Yes, that was Blade Runner. This is for Zora. This is for Pris. I can see you. Proud of yourself, little man. 4-5. How to stay alive. 6-7. Go to hell or go to heaven. Come on, Deckard. Here's a funny story. 1,000,000 years ago, 1,000 centuries ago, as Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now would say. I came to Italy with my band. It was long before we went to the States. I could write a whole book on just that part, completely skipping the whole 20 years in New York and touring with The Who and Journey and Van Halen and Bryan Adams and stuff. I could just ignore all that. That's the bigger shit. I could ignore all the production shit I did and all the big orchestras I wrote for and so on. And just talk about the Italian years. Believe me, you'd be still entertained. But we came to Italy and we were staying. There was an apartment rented for us, and there was a studio we could work in. And one of the Italian guys, producer guys who brought us there, lovely guy, but he didn't have a lick of English. He had like 4 words in English, but he was the sweetest guy ever. We were over in his house, beautiful big apartment. He lived with his mom and dad. That's not unusual. Italian men will often live with their mom and dad till they're 30, 35. That's very unusual. That's, I got out of Dodge at 20, But the Italian boys love their mama. They love their mama, and their mama loves their boys. Wants to make them dinner. They're a little bit spoiled, these guys. Anyway, I digress. But this guy, he was a big film fan. He loved movies, and so did we. And he had a huge collection of, at the time, I guess, VHS tapes or something, whatever that was. I don't even think it was DVDs yet. And an extensive collection of great movies. Like, he had really good taste in movies. But they're all dubbed in Italian because, unfortunately, the Italians, oh God, that's beginning to change now with the latest generation. Thank God. But man, they dubbed their movies. So you put on like Heat, De Niro and Pacino, and it's some fucking actor like, doing their voice. You're like, Jesus. You do realize you're missing like half. Like Al Pacino, we love, but his voice is like almost more important than his face. What do we got? Bon voyage, motherfucker. You were good. Like, it's so important. The music in his voice. So there we are trying to explain to the Italians, you don't understand. And they're trying to explain to us, oh, the guy who does the dubbing is really good. I'm like, that's not a flex. Like, don't tell anybody. Did anybody hear that? Don't. Shh. That's not a flex. Don't be proud of that. Oh, really? We're really good at dubbing. The Germans dub too, and the French, but we're the best. I'm like, that's not a... So we're sitting there one night in this big apartment. And we're fucking bored. There was a lot of boredom. Nobody ever tells you about the boredom of being in a band. So there's a lot of hurry up and wait around. People say that about the film industry as well. When you're an actor, it's fucking hours and hours of sitting on set with nothing. You're fucking bored. And you're just reading your lines over and over again until eventually you get called. Anyhow, the lads were like, can we watch a fucking movie? And we like put in a couple of tapes and it's all dubbed. We're like, oh God. And we didn't understand any Italian at the time. Back at the beginning. We had no idea what was being said. So I said, well, there's a few movies here that I'll dub back. So we'll put it on. We'll turn the sound down a little so you can hear the effects button here. And I'll sit between you in the couch I'll sit in the middle and I'll do all the voices because I know these films like by memory. And they hadn't seen Blade Runner. So I was like, there was a few. I was like, well, Jaws for sure. Godfather Part 1, Part 2, no problem. And they chose Blade Runner, and I sat there and I did Leon's voice and I did Deckard's voice and everyone. And I just know the whole thing. I even tried to sync it up with their mouth as they said it. I would say it. And I just did the whole movie. And here's the weird thing that happened. They don't remember that I was the guy. Like after a few minutes, they settled into what was happening and they were just enjoying the movie and hearing me next to them saying the words. And they just enjoyed the movie. So they don't have a memory of that weirdness. They just remember the movie being really good. So that's mission accomplished, right? I guess. Tortoise, what's that? You know what a turtle is? Sure. Same thing. Real Tim G. Hey, man. Venice is back in the Series A. You never mentioned them, but you criticized World Cup. Oh, gosh, don't start. Fucking. You don't even support home team. Don't speak about football. Oh, shit. Unfortunately, children come over from other channels. Grown men with the minds of teenagers. I must apologize for that. Sorry, guys. He did send $5, so couldn't ignore it, unfortunately. Strider says Flemish Belgium don't dub. That is why we speak better English. Is that a fact? I believe the Polish have the actual voices on, but they turn the real voices down slightly, and they have just a man just translating in audio. You know, it's not dubbed, because dubbed is when there's a guy, there's a Italian, they completely mute the real voice, and there's an Italian voice in his place. If there's a woman, there's an Italian woman's voice in their place, doing the Italian equivalent of whoever they are, the character. I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm not denying that. But apparently the Polish, they want to hear the voice kind of in the background. They don't know quite what's being said. And there's just a man's voice constantly saying what they said. It must be weird. What's wrong with subtitles? I grew up with I watched all these French movies and Japanese movies my whole life. I just read the fucking subtitles. Did anybody complain when they saw Inglourious Bastards? Attendez la crème. Monsieur la petite. Vache. Your vache is your cows, right? And your daughters. Bravo. We're reading the subtitles. Eventually they go into, but then there's the whole scene, probably one of the greatest cinematic scenes of all time, underground in the bar with Michael Fassbender and Diane Kruger with the SS guy. All in German. Did we ever complain? No, we didn't. It was really well done. We just fucking read the subtitles. The tension was still there. Listen, I've given up trying to tell these Italians to stop fucking dubbing their movies. I'll never get through to them. I don't want to die on that hill. Drei Klasse. Nice one. Cute change. Drei Klasse. God. What an amazing, amazing thing to put in your movie. The Italian scene was my favorite in Inglourious Basterds. What was the Italian scene? When it was like Brad Pitt, like trying to do the Italian buongiorno. That? Yeah, I guess. I know people who didn't like that. I know a movie producer. He's Jewish as well in New York. You'd think he'd love that because it's such a Jewish revenge story. He fucking hated that movie. I thought it was great. I know Tarantino's a pain in everyone's ass, but you have to separate the artist from the art. It's very important. We're talking about film. We're talking about soccer. I thought we wanted to talk about watches. What do you guys think of this lovely turquoise blue? It's great, isn't it? Let me move to another watch just to keep things alive. Morphology, ontology, dates. I don't know such stuff. I just do eyes. Just eyes. You Nexus, huh? I design your eyes. Oh, smart. Ju, if only you could have seen what I've seen with your eyes. Now, questions. I don't know answers. Who does? Tyrell. He's big boss, big genius. He designed your mind. Now, no, he goes, not an easy man to see, I expect. This is great. This is a fucking great movie. JK, he take you there. Or no, Sebastian, he take you there. Sebastian who? JK Sebastian. Now, where would we find this JK Sebastian? Did you get your precious photos? Someone was there. Men. Police. Men. Rutger Hauer. Where did he come from? What species is that? What a face. PR Technique. I finally a super chat. Jesus, it's a bloody miracle. No, there were some nice ones earlier. Thanks, guys. Glad you have a girlfriend. No one should be alone. Here's a quote. I'm alone. I'm not lonely. What's that from? JF Sebastian, not JK. JF Paul. That's right. JF Sebastian. Thank you. Home again, clickety click. Good evening, JF. Sorry. Now it's playing like a record in my head. I'm fucked. JF Sebastian. I'm slipping. Hey, it's been years. I need to sit down and watch that movie again. My daughter loves the 2049 one, the new one. But it is a really good movie. It really is. Denis Villeneuve. But it's fucking doesn't even hold a candle to the first one. I'm sorry. Not even fucking close. Joe LaFaro is coming in. Oh, for Blade Runner. Joe LaFaro super chats when you talk about something he knows and likes. That's the rule with Joe LaFaro. I've learned that from Dirk Shaw. Just mention an old song that he loves. He's like, there you go. The weird MO there. But fine. If I were smarter, if I was as smart as, if I were as smart as Dirk, I would capitalize on that, but I'm not. Strider, finally a watch question. Jesus. What is going to be your next watch to buy? Are you looking for a particular timepiece? I'm not looking for, right now I'm looking at kitchens. I'm looking at getting my countertops into the apartment without destroying them. And very large oak kitchen tables. So I can have big dinner parties, my favorite thing. I have a lot of watches. I had to put a bunch in the bank, all the big heavy hitters in the bank now. I feel better. There's a certain unease. Even though this place is Fort Knox, I still think about it. So I'm wearing the, I've gone over to a Speedy, the Tokyo 2020. I put it on this strap, the Michael Knapp strap. The Charlie Kirk strap is what I should start calling it. The I don't trust black people to fly an airplane strap. There are no more buildings left in Gaza to throw people off of strap. Anyway, no. He's actually a lovely man and he makes beautiful straps. And made this one for me a few years back. More than a few. So I stuck it on that because the bracelet on this is absolutely untouched, unworn. This is a gorgeous Speedy. But I'm going to keep it like it is. It's so new and someone should buy it. Someone should buy it. I think 7,000 is about right for this. What do you guys think of that new Speedmaster Swatch thing? Am I going to get in trouble for even mentioning it? I think it actually looks fucking nice. You have to answer a bunch of cards. I haven't done it. I asked Brenny earlier, are you going to enter into the little lottery there to get one or whatever you would call it? But he hasn't answered me. I don't know. He's mad at me or not. Let's not fight. We're gentlemen. Swatch Omega, I guess. Is that what I'm looking up? There's a lot of news about it. If I was more on top of things, I'd have a short on my YouTube channel already about it. Jesus, Esquire just wrote a fucking article. Forget it. Imagine how many millions are going to enter this whatever it is, this draw to be allocated one of these things. Oh, God. Look at this. Oh, there it is. What do you think of that? It's real gold. It's gold, recycled gold from old Omega watches. That is a plastic watch, or they call it whatever they call it, fucking carbon, whatever. It's fucking plastic. It's a quartz watch, like all of them, but the pushers, crown, and dial are actually gold. I don't know if it's 18. I don't think it's 18 karat. The watch is only 600 bucks if you're lucky enough to be allocated one. What are they showing there? They're talking about recycling the old gold. Anyway, anybody do the thing? Anybody go on and answer the 32 questions? I'm curious. It's a very good looking Speedmaster. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, if they made a real Speedmaster in that configuration, I'd be all over it. You know, a full ceramic body with the gold, and then drop the fucking Swatch word off. Get rid of that fucking word. Jeez, I'd be all over it. Right, I want one. I need one. Can't even buy the first shitty plastic one on the mainland. Yeah, because I don't know if you have a watch store over there, a Swatch store. If I were to be allocated one, I've got 48 hours to pick it up, and they would choose the Venice Swatch store to pick up. You have to go in there with a fucking bodyguard. My God, these things are going to go way over retail. There is no doubt about that. Are they 500-600? You're gonna get $4,000 for one of these things. It's fucking gold. There's 11 grams of real gold on the thing. Eventually, it's just going to work its way all the way up to just being a real Speedmaster. They'll just keep adding things until you're like, well, what's the fucking difference now? I love how they do dot over 90. Sorry, I don't love that. The dot over 90. That's supposed to be a way of identifying an old Speedy. The fact that they do that now, it's artificial. Don't do that. The charm of the dot over 90 was to date the watch. I don't know. I think it's a good looking fucking watch. I saw it late last night. Chilik. Hey, Ashin, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Chilik. So has anyone in the audience tried to... You have to sign up and get a Swatch account online and then answer a bunch of questions. You've got 2 hours to answer the questions. They say it doesn't take 2 hours to answer them. It takes like 40 minutes, half an hour or something. So they're being very generous time-wise. You can just Google all the answers, I guess. I'm tempted. DCUSMC95. I saw a recent video about your beef with Brit Pierce. Is it true? Yeah, it's true. It is. I mean, I don't know what video you saw and what was said, so maybe I shouldn't say. I don't know what was said. There's tons of stuff. Did I have a beef with her? Absolutely. No good deed goes unpunished, guys. Remember that. I'm just naturally a generous and giving person. I like to help others. it's a curse. Turns out it's a fucking curse. It brings you nothing but pain. With that, I'm going to have another slice of tequila infused watermelon. What's better? Hmm. Yeah, that's a beautiful Speedy. Jesus. This thing is, it's amazing how Speedies can be so beautiful in different configurations, but always the same kind of form. It's a beautiful thing. God damn it. I love a Speedy from this. Am I wrong about this? Can anyone chime in? I love a Speedy from that angle. Can I get the thing to focus? That angle of a Speedy when you see it on the wrist is like the best. You know what I mean? Seeing it from that angle is almost better than seeing it from that angle. You know? Am I wrong? Oh, you're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole. Okay. Next watch. What am I putting on? Hey, I'll put on a favorite. One that you all like on my wrist a lot. Winds backwards. I forgot about that. Gotta wind it anti-clockwise. Counterclockwise, as the Americans say. We say anti-clockwise. Clockwise. I'll just set it. I don't like putting on a watch that's not set. Is that weird? Even if I'm not even reading the time. It just sits wrong with me if it's not set. I don't know why. My OCD coming out. Fucking hell, these things are so well built. God damn it. Everything clicks so immaculately. Winds so perfectly. God. The IWC Big Pilot 43 in-house movement. So that. Haven't been wearing this much in the past couple of weeks because of the heat. I don't want to fuck up the strap. The thing has warranties to like 2032 or something. It's crazy. They have 8-year warranties. Look at that. Beautiful big beast. Gorgeous blue. Sexy watch. Aurelian Rue says in Turkey, rake is injected into the melon. No doubt. Hey, you couldn't inject rake anywhere you want. I love that stuff. John Doe, $5. Thank you, sir. I applied for the gold bonus watch today. Took about 5 minutes to answer 32. There you go, guys. It only takes 5 minutes. Mostly stupid questions. Yeah, I saw some of the questions. They're a little silly. There's 1,969 of them being made, millions applying. Yeah, I mean, it's highly unlikely you'll be approved. But if you are, man, will you feel special. Well, let me know if you get it, and send some photos. Southwestern Watch UK. Just watch your Drive to Cartier video again. Perfect combination of Venice Sinatra, beautiful dress watch. Just pure class. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. That is a nice video. Very elegant. It's not just the drive, but also the Chiara Nardo CN Orology is in there too. Also very classy brand. What's your favorite watch on my wrist so far? Is it this one? I feel like a lot of you are going to say, that's the one. That's the one and done. Iwutze Schaffhausen. It's nice. Nice with a leather jacket, you know. When it gets into autumn, I'll start wearing it again more. With a, cafe racer jacket. Anthony says, I answered all the questions this morning. The site kept crashing. Yeah, no kidding. Think of it. It's not just watch fans. It's all those goons that get in line for all the AP pop, royal pop thing, and all the others. The great unwashed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm going to pump myself through it. I can always write Nick Hyatt and say, send me one of those things, because he liked my Saturn video. He wrote an email saying so. The Saturn, Moonswatch Saturn. He watched the whole thing. He even commented on the crescendo and the music and so on. Maybe I should write him and go, hey, remember me from the Saturn video? John Haas says, I purchased a Speedy 4 years ago and it has sharp edges. I'm sorry, my friend. Well, I tried to warn you. Tried to warn the world. I did warn the world. Whoops. Feedback, sorry. I'm using a different mixer here. I think it's doing some sort of compression. So the headphones get close to the microphone. Who ever heard of headphones feeding back? That doesn't make any sense. Listen, that was a big thing. I said they were sharp edges, and people start saying I was crazy. Some people agreed. Some people didn't. One guy made a video about if you get the new Speedy, how to smoothen the edges yourself at home using a nail file. I'm like, not on a $7,000 watch. I mean, you buy some cheap thing that you like, and it's got a little bit of roughness, hot spots as they call them, then sure. But for $7,000, Omega, I don't think you should be expected to bring the thing home and do a DIY smoothing finishing job. That's how bad it got. I've concluded that there must be 2 factories at least. And one of them, the watches, because I've had a couple of those new ones. And they were fine. One of them is pumping out finished stuff. And the other one, whatever way they're finishing or they're not finishing or they're cutting, whatever machine is being used to cut is making them proper sharp. I don't mean crispy sharp, like a brand new Rolex has that kind of tugs at your skin when you touch the bezel. I'm not talking about that. That's a different type of thing. I'm talking about actual, like, this feels rough. It's pulling my skin when I rub the edge of the head and the bracelet. Oof. I don't think that that's acceptable, but maybe I'm wrong. EG says sold out Gold Speedy. They already sold out, really? Marty, yes, leather straps are tricky in the heat. They end up smelling like a Yeti's armpit. Yeah, just don't wear your leather straps in the heat. That's why I put this. I wasn't crazy about this Palm strap in Florence. I wanted the one with the red line down there. But they only make that for the 44 mil. This is the 47. It's the same strap, but with no red line. The Luna Rossa or whatever it's called. But I went for it in the end because I was like, you know what? I'm going to ruin my beautiful burgundy strap if I'm wearing it in the heat. So this will save the day. It has. Prada design. Prada fabric. Amazing. Still a beaut. Give us an upvote, guys. It's a thumb. There's a thumbs up down there somewhere. Down here, just hit the thumbs up if you can. Thanks. Helps. It's free. Only takes a second. Mission to the Moon 1969 sells for $600, 11 grams of 18 karat gold. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. 11 grams of 18 karat gold is worth $900. So the watch is already being sold at a discount. You could melt down that gold and get $900 for it in the current market. So think of it. I think these watches will sell at a serious premium, especially that it's limited. You have to answer a bunch of silly questions. I doubt they're even using staff to, I'd say they're using AI to monitor the questions. Think of it. Millions of people trying to get one. So it's probably very random and arbitrary, the selection process. And for that reason, the price goes up on the gray market. John Doe reckons €5,000. I don't think you're being unrealistic there. I think maybe yes. Certainly at first. That might soften with time. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's the first one I've seen that I consider to be actually quite handsome, you know. The other ones I give a pass because they're so cheap. But some of them are fucking ugly. I don't know. I might even wear that watch if I own one. I'm going to email Nick Hayek. He'll never read it. His 10 million emails in his inbox every day. Yeah, this is a good, handsome watch. I do like this, but I'm going to take it off. So I don't want to sweat into it. It's a beaut, though. IWC Schaffhausen. You would say Schaffhausen. I'll show you a close-up. It's got an open back as well. Could use a little bit of a wipe. There's the open back. Lovely, isn't it? Nice. Solid. The no, but seriously, the Speedy is for sale if you do want it. It's collectible because it's Tokyo 2020 and that never happened. There's a set of 5. They're all very handsome. Yeah. And the bracelet minty with stickers. Okay, let's wear something else. You know what I'm going to put on? This is also for sale because I did a video on it ages ago. And then it's just been in the case. There's a couple of people who nearly pulled the trigger on it, but you know how it is. Until someone actually makes a move, it means nothing. This thing is Damascus steel and titanium from Zelos. Wind this thing up. It's actually really cool looking watch. Skeletonized. Very, very slim and indestructible. 1137. Yeah, I'll give you a thing. They loved my video and they paid me for the video. And just left me the watch. I think it's $2,500. I'd sell it for half that. It's fine. I don't need it, but it is nice. I might wear it tomorrow. Maybe not. It's decent looking. Zelos. A strong brand. A lot of Zelos fans out there. Damascus steel. You see the way it's folded? It has those lines through it. Super uber light. Very, very slim profile. Extremely slim. There's a whole video on it. On the channel. Andrew B. talking about the non-radioactive steel. I think Zinn used submarine steel for their watches. Oh. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me if Zinn were doing that. Those guys make really highly technical watches. I would not be surprised. So low background steel is what you're talking about. Recovered from a shipwreck or a U-boat or something. That's interesting. Got to look into that. Joe agrees. Submarine steel, limited edition. Oh, there you go. I wonder how much it costs. Ray, gonna downvote. Missed a super chat again. Did I miss your super chat, Ray? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna downvote. I love the way grown men behave like girls. Thinking of letting Nomadic use me as their ambassador. See how the meeting goes. I think I saw that earlier. Shit, I'm sorry, man. My apologies. I'm gonna downvote. That is interesting. I'd love to know about that submarine steel. What else have I got here? Joe says 11 grams of 18 or 24 carat. I don't know. We have to check the prices of gold. 24 carat, maybe. 18 mightn't be as much. Either way, the turn off with a lot of these watches was that they were really essentially plastic quartz garbage, right? No matter what form it came in, what it said on the dial, the actual substance wasn't anything. Whereas this one actually has real precious metal in it. Go figure. Joe said the Zin U15, $4,700. Let's look it up. I haven't talked about Zin ever. I never had one. But I saw them in a London Watch Show thing. The Pro Salon. I was trying some on, and they were very advanced watches and really cheap considering. Thanks, Joe. Let's have a look. What's up with this website? Country, Germany. No, you got that wrong. Let's try Dahlia. Okay, I'll share this over so you can see. Let's take a look. You know, trust Zin to be doing this. Transformed into timepieces after hundreds of thousands of nautical miles. €3,000. So this is from a U-boat that went down before. The important part is it went down before 1945, because that would make it pure steel. Yeah, interesting. Cool looking watch. Sorry. Share this other page. It's wow. Few different sizes, U16, U18. Made of German submarine steel. Are they aware? I hope they are. But I'm not seeing anything talking about that. The purity, the non-radioactive steel. Now listen, radioactive. Radioactive is a word that gets thrown out around a lot. Our bodies are actually radioactive, very slightly. Oh, look at them cutting out the steel. There it is. Look. They cut the steel off the sunken U-boat. They brought it up to the surface, and then they refashion it. Wow. That is interesting. This is a little bit like what Zero S do. Although that's normally with aircraft and cars. Wow. Okay. Only $3,000. Not bad. Q Chain says, I know a trusted Zin dealer that offers it for $3,900. Yeah, it's $3,000 on the site here. I don't know where you got that price from. Only 1,000 pieces though. What humidor do I use? I have a couple. They're not famous. I don't have expensive humidors. I smoke them too quick. I don't have a collection of like hundreds of cigars. Even when I have 40 or 50 cigars in the house, I go through them pretty quick, unfortunately. But I have one of the stand-up ones with the trays and the door, and then I have a simple low line. I could use a nice, big, expensive humidor at some point, I'm sure. Might light up another one. This one's getting a little messy. Messy. Don't talk about that word. Sunday is looming. Don't know if I want to go through the stress of watching that game. So let me take off the Zelos. This thing is new with the car. It's got the case is a watch roll. That's how it comes. Look with the card and everything. That's the card. That's how they deliver their watches. Kind of cool. Because who needs a box? You put the box away anyway. After the first day, you never see it again. Until you decide to sell the one. Yeah, this is very special, very interesting. Very light. Rubber strap. What next? Tudor. This one is for sale still as well. This isn't mine. This is Frollo's. New with the card and everything. Barely worn. Ooh. Tudor. Jesus. You know, most Rolex have a lot of bling to them. Tudors tend to be more tool watch rough, not too much bling. But these ones have both the bling and the strength of the Tudor. God, look at that with the blue. I can see over here with the baby blue shirt, the steel and gold, the matte steel and gold, the matte gold. It's a good combo, isn't it? Wow. DG, go Spain. Yeah, I think the whole world wants Spain to win. Argentina are corrupt, god damn it. FIFA are swinging in their favor. They're calling in favors. Watch them foul the shit out of Spain on Sunday and not get any red cards or yellow cards or free kicks or anything. Ethan, the watch is mint. Well, it is mint condition. Yeah, it's Frollo's son has connections with lots of ADs, so he gets the signed Rolex and so on, and Tudors. He got a couple of Tudors at retail. He won't make his money back, although this is now a discontinued model, and my chrono version of this is now over 10,000 from Tudor, which I think is nuts because you can get it on the gray market for less. But it was in the store, and it was like, hey, maybe somebody in your audience is interested. You want to take it home, wear it on live. Yeah, rocking gorgeous. Maybe I should just keep it. Del boy, how you, boss? How's it going, man? How's it hanging? Yeah, a nice array of watches, don't you think? The Nomadic. This thing is a beast. You know, I think it makes more sense that their deep sea diver, their sea dweller equivalent, is in titanium. I think that Rolex should do that to reduce the weight. I know some of them have titanium backs, but that's different to the whole thing being titanium. I normally don't like titanium because I like the weight of a watch. I'm a bit vain, excuse me, like that. I want to feel the steel or the gold or whatever. I feel the weight of the watch. It definitely happens with the Tudor, I can tell you. But honestly, just out swimming and filming the Nomadic, I was like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. Also, sometimes I don't like titanium because it looks dull to me. Doesn't have a sparkle. But what they've done with the Nomadic, which was pretty clever, is they put some thick ass chamfers. When you see the chamfers, and I'm going to zoom in and listen with my real camera for the video that I'm currently making for them. But look how pronounced the chamfers are. You know what the chamfers are, guys? See what's shining there in white? It's the angle between the angle. It's the sort of thing you look at when you're looking at vintage watches to see, vintage Rolex, to see if the chamfers are still intact or if the watch has been polished in, that the chamfers are just rounded off. Kills the look. Look at those chamfers. So they catch the light. So that was pretty smart. So they elevated the watch from being kind of just dull and gray titanium into something that sparkles a little. I got some shots on the beach with the sun kind of reflecting, shining off those angles. It's good shit. I'll give you a close up of I just got to set this Tudor real quick. What is it? 11:53. Shit, already coming toward the end of the show. Go over to Dirk in a minute. Yeah, so here's the Tudor with that gold dial. My chrono doesn't have the gold dial, it has the black dial. There's a gold dial equivalent though. Look at that thing. And the matte gold rather than high gloss gold. So not a scratch magnet like high gloss center links on a Rolex. They're just so well built, Tudor watches. Like, listen to this. Fucking hell. You can feel quality under your fingers. Some people say that clones are getting to a level that they're so scary, like they're so close to the real thing, especially with Rolex. I don't know, though. I've held a couple of clones, and I think you can feel it under the fingers. Maybe you can't see it with the naked eye, but something about the feel, the touch in your hand. Andrew B. Brainy says Tudors are shitters. Yeah. Not a fan of the gold crown, says Del Boy. Yeah, stealing gold is stealing gold. That's the way it works. You don't think it's good? Free Lenny, says Ray Ray. Everyone wants to see Lenny again. I guess that's the first thing I'll get back to when I finish some videos. Del Boy, see Nomadic opening a standalone Dublin store. Guys are flying. Are they opening a standalone? I know they've been. They got Weirs. Weirs of Dublin took them on board and put them in the window, which was a breakthrough. I didn't know they were opening a flagship store in Dublin. I think that fits. They're proper Irish lads. All their watches have Irish names. So what else? Are they all the watches I have here to put on? Yeah, I guess. I do have I showed you the tiger eye of my watches, the Frollo things. There's the Aventurine. In the video, it looks better because you can see the sparkles on the dial. You see you see the sparkles? It happens a lot more in the sun. It sparkles when you move the watch. Murano glass. It's a good one. That's good. That's a good one. What would you like, Eli? $10,000. For what? For my church. That's good. That's a good one. If we buy the land and if everything works out, I'll be happy to donate to your church. Kapira says, I think two tones are underrated. Me too. I have a couple here. I have this one. I actually have one of the Nomadic Ladies ones, which is two-tone, which is nice. I prefer the other one, though, the Mother of Pearl. And then, of course, I have the Speedy. Maybe the most handsome of the lot. But yeah, I'm kind of, the more I'm wearing this, and I'm more thinking, what the fuck? You think I should keep it? They suit me, that's for sure. Sometimes you don't know what watch suits you. You don't know. You're the wrong judge. You need to ask the wife or someone or friend or something. Ray says, Eye Bashers in 7 minutes, World Cup special. Yeah, we're going to talk World Cup. Two guys who don't know very much about soccer talking about the World Cup. That's going to be fun. Oh boy, the Speedy on the brown leather. It is good, right? I mean, I suppose I could. I don't really want to sell this fucking strap though, because it's monumental, handmade specifically for me. I put the bracelet into the box because it's got stickers on and everything. It's completely unused. There's no scratches or anything. There's none on the watch either. But yeah, Speedy on a strap. Great thing about a Speedy, you can pop it off and stick it on all sorts of straps. NATO. Speedy on a NATO is great as well. We love Speedy on a NATO. Very versatile watch. Bambo Dundee, you want Argentina to win? Really? The corruption doesn't affect you in any way? Peter Russell, have I tried the Black Bay 68? I haven't, but I've seen it in the flesh in Geneva last year, and it is a good, handsome watch for the bigger lads, of course. And they're both nice. The blue the dark blue doesn't look as good in the photographs as the silver dial one, but actually in the flesh, the dark blue is actually quite impressive. Christopher Ward, watch enthusiast, says thanks for the watch help. No problem, man. I'm glad the watch you decided on. Very nice. Speedy 57, right? That's a gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I wish they had a slightly bigger one. But if they had a 42, I would wear it all year. Luke, have I ever owned Longines? I have never owned a Longines. I tried on, I was in Bologna and I tried on, excuse me, the Hydra Conquest in, I think it was green or blue. It was very nice. I found the big one, the 42, looked a little weird, even though I have big wrists and it sits fine. For some reason, I like the slightly smaller size on my wrist. Isn't that weird? That never happens. But I just went, you know what? This kind of looks like better proportions somehow. The Longines Hydra Conquest is the better value watch out there. It's $2,200. It's Longines. They have a great history. It's a handsome, solid diver. Watch Brenny's channel. He bought one. Bought two, I think. He loves it. Good, solid watch, especially for the price. You know, in a world where prices are just going up and up, like this thing has just been discontinued this year. I don't know why. They had this, and they had the steel and gold in the 300 with the date, yes, and then the Chrono, which I own, in both configurations, gold and black dial. And they didn't discontinue the Chrono, but they discontinued this. Now the Chrono's gone up to 10,100 euros from the boutique. So what would this be at? 8,800, 9,100, something like that? Yeah, had they not discontinued it? Think of it. Crazy. The Longines divers are 2,200. Jeez. Crazy. Great value. Sorry, in a world, I was saying, where watches just keep going up. Every brand, they just keep pushing up the price. Like the IWC, this one's 10,000 now. You want it from IWC new. 10 grand, because it's the in-house movement one. It's the real one, if you want to call it that. You know, and Rolex keep pushing up their price. Everyone's pushing up their prices. Omega are going insane. And then Longines come out with like a solid, beautiful diver for 2,200. They could have asked 4,400 if they wanted, and nobody would have thought anything. Fantastic. Yes, Del Boy, your answer, you got the answer to that question. Ethan says even ours jacked up their prices. Everybody's been doing it except for Longines. Incredible. Purcell 850. The Carinardo in gunmetal with the blue dial that I got after watching your videos is one of my favorite watches. Well, you know, somebody mentioned the Cartier Drive video and how much they love it. And that watch, not exactly that config, is also in that video. So why don't I pull up some shots of it so everyone can see? Yes, finally got 108,000 views. Wow. Didn't realize it was doing that well. I wonder if people have been asking me about the Cartier tons lately. Do you still have the Cartier? I love the Cartier. Brallo has that watch now. If you want it, you can buy it off him. I turned off the sound because there's the Carinardo. This is a lovely arty video. For those of you who complain that my channel is going to shit, it ain't like it used to be. Yes, it is. That does not look like what you all loved. There's the Carinardo. Let me go to where I show the watch. There it is. Look at that thing. She makes exceptional watches. And they're $1,700. It's like an Aquaterra. Some might say it's even more elegant than an Aquaterra. Had some great reflections off that bracelet. It catches the light. It's also great on rubber. You sent me the blue rubber strap for this, and when I put it on, I was like, oh, damn, this thing is amazing. There's some fat drunk prick talking in the square. Yeah, look at it. CN Orology. And then, of course, later there's the where is it? There it is. The Cartier Drive. Super elegance. It's better than Cartier. Oh yeah, this model who showed up in the piazza. It's a nice shot there. I do an unboxing. Old-fashioned unboxing. Yeah, it's a beautiful watch. I'll repeat. I love the watch. I got some insanely high-level dress watches recently in gold and rose gold, and I just thought, well, when am I going to wear this? You know, when you own a Vacheron ultra thin square thing, on what occasion am I going to pass that over and take the Cartier instead? I don't think so. Vacheron is like probably the most elegant, sophisticated dress watch I've ever seen in my life. I was at brunch last Sunday with some special friends at a very high class place, new place here in Venice. And the chap sitting next to me, who's kind of our host for the day, has a series of FP Journes. He has a Resonance, you know, the one that was auctioned for 13 million recently. He's one of those. He has some fucking nice pieces, but he owns the Donald Trump watch, I guess you could call it, because that's what Trump wears every day. The square, the ultrafine Vacheron, he also has one. And he mentioned, I was like, thank God you mentioned that. I was like, going on about the strap on that watch is the greatest strap I've ever touched. Like miles above everything else, including my other Vacheron, which isn't here. It's just silk to touch. It's just incredible. It's really hard to describe. It just feels like old money. Don't know how else to describe it. Guilloche on the Cartier Drive. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. There she is. Look. Great strap on that too. Yeah. Look at such a good watch. Wow, who made that video? Who did this amazing photography? That guy's got a future. So natural. There's so many videos with bright lab style lighting that's unrealistic. This is so much more natural light in a restaurant. Some of my videos are a little dark, but you're supposed to turn off the lights like a cinema experience, you know? You turn off the lights and let the video take over the room. You don't need all this bright, brash light in your face. Your eyes adjust, and the next thing you can really enjoy it, just like you do with a movie, in the movie theater. See the way the light picks up as it turns. These are all things you learn with the years, guys. Slowly learn how to photograph a watch. See the C shape there on the bridge. Amazing. That domed crystal. Oh yeah, and the blue sapphire. It's not a sapphire in those ones. It is in the gold ones. Now discontinued. 8,500 retail, market 5,000. Yeah, that's right. Whoever this guy is, he knows what he's doing. That's kind of weird. Look, two me's. Let's go to the end with the music part. There we go. That's better. Look at me. You go to my head. It's all Frank Sinatra playing. I can't turn it up because I'll get copyright. See the way the light dances off the CN? Anybody spot that there? Do you see the way it goes? The second's hand is moving very fast, but the man in the background is in slow motion. How did he do that? The second's hand here is moving at regular pace or nearly fast, and the gondolas are in slow motion. Sorry, I'm just forgetting. I forgot how much. There you go. He's in slow motion. Look how fast the second's hand is going. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. That there is a chiaroscuro shot because I'm a big Caravaggio fan and a Gordon Willis fan. That's chiaroscuro right there. Brights and darks. Anyhow, has Dirk started? Let me see. Sorry, I'm just enjoying these shots now. I forgot all the fucking work I put into this. God damn it. Oh, yeah. I got a bash of water there. That's nice. And that changed the focus, and now the people show up on the bridge. See? Don't fuck around here, kids. Nice bodgy shirt. Canali blazer. What's better than a deep blue blazer with a crisp white shirt? What's better than that? Nothing. There you go. It's important to see what the watch will actually look like when you're out. You own a watch like this, you're a sort of gentleman who goes to places like this, eats at expensive restaurants and fancy cafes. You don't want to see the watch under a lamp, bright white light. That's not how the watch is going to look out in the wild. You'll be sitting at low candlelit restaurants and stuff on a date or on an anniversary dinner or something. That's how the watch is. That's what it's designed for. There you go. You get your reflections of blue. Nice. Anyhow, Ray will be in the audience going, Dirk started. Come on, let's go over to the eyebashers. He's right. That was a nice couple. I love seeing these couples in the piazza. They're so cute. God bless them. Get the eyebashers link. That's me walking past. Oh, yeah, he started. I'll put the link in the chat in case you want to click on it and come over. If you don't, it might pop you over automatically. That's a nice end shot there, yeah. Her hand on the back of his neck. When you have a woman's hand on the back of your neck, like, where was that shot? You've won in life. You've won. Look, her hand is over his shoulder and her other hand running up the back of his neck. Like, you've won in life. You've won. What's better than that? All right. Why am I not? There I am. All right. So there is the link in the chat for eyebashers. We'll go over there and talk for a bit. That was fun. Thanks for the super chats and the PayPals, guys. Very much appreciated. Thanks for the company. If you want any of the watches you saw, just reach out to me at oshinamalichannel@gmail.com. oshinamalichannel@gmail.com. Or just go on my oshinamalichannel.com website if you want one of the other ones. It's all out there. It's not that hard. There's the link again for the Eyebashers show in the chat. You can click on that straight directly, or just leave it running and it'll probably pop you over automatically once I end this stream. Thanks, guys. Good Friday. Happy weekend. Best of luck, Spain, on Sunday. Here's to hoping. Go Spain, DJ. You're here. All right, guys. See you all soon. Peace. Ciao. See you on the Eyebashers in 5 seconds.